A successful pheasant hunt depends on a plentiful supply of birds. Pheasant habitat on private lands, protected by conservation easement programs, has seen a decline. That puts pressure on public land managers to produce more birds on fewer acres. DNR upland game researcher Nicole Davros is studying pheasant habitat at the Lamberton Wildlife Management Area in southwest Minnesota. She's looking at what habitat hens prefer for nesting, raising their chicks, and making it through brutal winters. Nicole chose Lamberton for its wide variety of grassland habitats, including a highly diverse plot planted with forbs, commonly known as wildflowers. Nearby is a grassland dominated by big bluestem and a field of switchgrass. Biologists look at native prairie remnants in 9-mile squares, based on their observation that pheasants don't move very far in their lifetime.
If they move more than 2 miles in their lifetime, they've made a big movement. Most of them stay within about a half mile of where they were born. So from a pheasant life history perspective, where you have good cover, both in terms of grassland cover and winter cover, you should have a lot of birds. And so if you have enough grass and then wetlands and winter food in that 9 square mile complex, then you should have good bird numbers.
Birds, bees, and butterflies love diverse prairies, with their abundance of forbs like coneflowers and blazing stars. But do the pheasants care? Or are big plots of big bluestem or switchgrass that are cheaper and easier to maintain an adequate home for the ringneck?
Is some amount of grass enough? And instead of investing in these forb seeds, you can kind of take that money and maybe work on acquisitions.
Nicole's research takes her into the daily life of a hen pheasant. Where does she go to nest? What happens to her chicks? Do they all survive the winter? Hens only live 1.5 to 3 years tops, so the window into her life is tiny. To track her research subjects, Nicole and her crew catch and collar them. Pheasants are too smart for traps, so she has to catch them when they are vulnerable, bedding down in the grass for a good night's sleep. During cool, dark autumn nights, Nicole and her team of graduate students drive their all-terrain Ranger through grasslands to capture young hen pheasants at night, when they are less likely to take flight. They will drive up on the resting pheasants and train the spotlight on them as they try to escape by running through the grass, then quickly jump out of their ATV and trap the young birds in the net. Nicole drives while the crew operates the spotlight and readies the net. When a pheasant is spotted running through the grass, the chase is on. It is not easy to trap a pheasant under the net, especially in thick vegetation where it's often difficult to push the net all the way to the ground so the clever birds can't escape.
Up here.
Got it!
The team effort leads to a successful catch. Now the trick is to work the young bird out of the net without harming it or letting it escape.
Pretty good.
Here, I can wrap it.
They got him, and he's a beauty.
He's a first-year rooster. You can see he's not quite pretty yet.
After they capture a pheasant, the team places a metal identification band on the bird's leg and quickly weighs it. Male pheasants are not part of Nicole's main research, so no radio transmitter will be placed on this young rooster. However, they will put a leg band on him and take some basic measurements before he is released.
I don't really expect to recapture too many of them. And I don't expect too many hunters to call them in. We're gonna bag them up and weigh them. You got them?
Yep.
We've got 1050. All right, good luck, little dude.
it's him. I think it's him.
We'll let him go.
Up here, up here.
They spot another pheasant running in the grass. Again, they kill the headlights and proceed forward with the spotlight alone. Somehow this one eludes them in the tall grass. It's not going to give up without a fight.
It's up here. Nice.
They get it, and this time it's a young hen.
Is she wrapped around on the back?
I think somebody should come in from here. From
Yeah, I
my
think
side.
somebody's gonna come from that side.
Oh, hang on. It's got a lot of red.
Yeah, there's a lot of variation in them.
I needed that. I did. I think she's the feistiest one I've been around.
The back of the Ranger serves as a makeshift field laboratory. Nicole carefully places a radio transmitter around the bird's neck. She'll monitor where the pheasant lives in the study's various grasslands and how long she survives.
We just want to be able to fit a pinky in there. So I think I'm actually gonna clip off this side first. So yeah, definitely not coming off, and enough room to fit a grasshopper down her throat.
She has the look of a healthy bird, perhaps the result of growing up in a diverse and plentiful habitat. To ensure that the radio transmitter does not affect the hen's ability to survive, Nicole places it around the bird's neck and adjusts it to exactly the right size so that it won't fall off or get caught up on something.
I'm gonna see if I can trim a little more. Turn her towards me again, if you can. Or I'll just swing it around her.
Oh, off that thing.
Yeah.
The young hen flies away, into the darkness, free again, and no worse for wear. Another data point in this important research on pheasant survival. In the spring, Nicole starts radio tracking her girls.
So we're just relying on old-fashioned VHF telemetry. And so we have our antenna, this one here in particular is called a Yagi antenna. When we're actually trying to pinpoint a direction, we use this Yagi antenna. And so we use these really nifty little handheld receivers, pretty lightweight and easy to carry. And each hen has a unique frequency. Essentially, we're just going to get a beep, beep, beep. That'll tell us that the hen is in a certain direction when we point the antenna that way.
To map where the hens are nesting, Nicole uses a process called triangulation and narrows in on 6 points where beeping is the loudest.
We'll use that to say, okay, we think her nest is here, and then we'll wait for her to get into the nesting before we approach her, if we approach her.
Nicole and crew are careful not to disturb nests that hold the future pheasant population. In the early spring, it takes a hen about 2 weeks to lay 10 to 12 eggs, then up to 28 days to incubate. If she loses her eggs, she'll lay again, but each attempt can take 6 weeks for a successful hatch, so the researchers don't want to risk scaring a hen from her nest.
We'll rely on the signal to tell us when she's hatching, so we kind of get a little bit of a fluctuation in the signal. It tells me that she's probably hatched, the chicks are bumping into our antenna, and so the sound will be a little bit different, and then we know that we can go after the chicks.
When the chicks are hatched, Nicole's crew will try to capture some chicks from each brood and fit them with collars. Like any toddler, they're not easy to catch.
They're small, but they're smart. They're born with great survival instincts, and so oftentimes they're right under our nose and we don't even know it. We try to radio track chicks to look at their survival rates, and then monitor hens, look at where they're taking their broods to, where are they selecting habitat, and then what is their survival rate in that habitat. So, where do they choose to put their nest sites, where do they choose to raise their broods.
A safe, productive home for pheasants benefits everyone, not just hunters. The deep roots of native grasses stabilize their soils and prevent erosion. Forbs provide habitat for pollinators, songbirds, and beneficial insects.
Managing for pheasants is really about more than managing for pheasants. It's managing for all the other species that are going to use those grasslands and that are going to use those wetlands. So when you're protecting grasslands, protecting wetlands, you're also protecting habitat for ducks, for frogs, for toads, for muskrats, and for all the other little critters like to run around in the grasslands and the wetlands.